Hello and welcome to your weekly singles and relationships oracle. The first card we have for you this week is called Being a Victim. Now, what this card basically says is you feel helpless to change your love life, but you can change whenever you want. So, this is an indication that you're probably reflecting on only the negative aspects of your past relationships, or maybe even the existing relationship that you are in, or the relationship that you're hoping for. You're holding on to some kind of negative thoughts and belief systems. I do believe that for you to change, nobody from the outside, any love or attention from an outsider or a second party is going to change you from within. It has to come from within. The change what you want to do has to come from within. So you're somewhere only focusing on the negative aspects of your life, your past relationships, and you're seeing yourself as a victim. Now, you need to come out of this mentality and start focusing on self healing. That's your first card for this week. The second card we have for you this week is vulnerable. Now, what it basically means is you cannot experience true intimacy unless you open your heart and be yourself. So, like I said with the first card where it says being a victim, you have to learn to be vulnerable at times, but at times you need to let go. You cannot experience, true intimacy, like the card says, unless you open your heart and be yourself. So, you're so focused on, making people happy or trying to fit into a bracket or some kind of an image to impress, or maybe to influence the person that you're in love with or you may be interested in, that somewhere deep down you tend to forget who you really are, who the actual or the real person within you is. Most of us tend to do that. We try to adapt, we try to dress more accordingly to be, based on our partner's requirements. We even change our food habits, a lot of things. Almost all relationships, a lot of people will agree, where they make a lot of changes, sacrifices for the sake of their partner, their spouse, or the person that they're interested in. But what really matters is being yourself, because see, you can be something or you can pretend to be something only to a certain extent, but after a point the real you will start to show up, and the person who was probably impressed with you with the fake or whatever attempted image that you created will no longer be happy with the real you. So it is always better to start off with being you, being who you are, being what showing off who you really are. And if the person likes you, good for you. If they don't, it's their loss. So being vulnerable, it's also a good thing. Be open, be yourself. Be vulnerable to being yourself, and the right person will enter your life, and you'll be happy with your life. Now, the third card that we have for you this week is too much. It says you tell others too much about yourself all at once. Sit back and listen more. I have seen this where people tend to share a lot of information about their lives, which is not necessarily needed for the other person. It may be a friend, it may be somebody from your family, who you may be talking with. Sometimes we do need to take out things from our system, share our feelings and thoughts, but sometimes it's best to do not reveal too much of what is going on within you. I will share an incident where there was a friend who actually was hanging out with a few people, and he was just casually asking, hi, how are you? And the other person was like, no, this happened, that happened. And this discussion started off among 4 or 5 people. So when the discussion was over, the person who actually asked the question, how are you, he seemed a little strained, a little embarrassed as well, and he said, all I wanted to know if he was fine or not. I didn't need to listen to the entire story. So sometimes we tend to share more than what is needed. The other person may just, trying to be courteous towards you. I'm not saying don't share your feelings at all, but, everybody needs to put their, feelings and thoughts, and everybody needs to communicate, interact more, to feel that happiness and pain being eased out when it is necessary, but not all the time. So sometimes it's better to keep things with yourself. I'm not saying bottle it up. Don't share too much. There may be information which others may not need to know. So those things you can keep to yourself. That is the advice that we have for you this week. Bye-bye.